Steger, I feel horrible today, Steger.
The Buschy and Bobo Show, a healthy scratch podcast. Here's your hosts, Kyle Busch and Brian Rager.
Welcome back to Buschy and Bobo, episode 11, one of the best numbers of all time because I wear it or wore it whenever we played hockey. We're back, and we have a few things we're going to talk about. First of all, we're
back together.
Yes, because something that's kind of fun that we've been thinking of doing is little YouTube short videos, not really like podcast, but it's just if me or Brian have some type of thoughts, like, let's just get it done, because we have a lot of stuff that we want to talk about on the pod. It's probably going to be shorter videos into the summer because there's nothing going on. But now with all the playoffs going on, all the craziness, there's like 12 things that we want to talk about today. And it's like, we don't want it to be more than like an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. And the thing on that, like, that's one thing I did after the draft lottery. Like, I asked, hey, do you want to do something? Like, not really, because nothing changed. So I just hopped on, did something quick on YouTube, and it doesn't need to be a pod. It was only 5 minutes. But like I said, like, then you said, you know what, maybe let's sort of move more towards if it's something, hey, something right away or something short, whatever it is, let's make it happen on a YouTube video rather than necessarily having to wait out or even do like, hey, this is quick thing of what I think on this. We may get into it on a pod. So yeah, I like that idea that we're gonna sort of make more YouTube videos.
Well, you know why? Because it is, but at the same time, like, we went in kind of thinking, oh, we're gonna write a lot of articles, because the
Not
writing
as much.
the writing part was fun a while ago, but now we found that like the podcast is the most fun. So what we're gonna do is post our YouTube videos as articles on the website. So it's something where we're still using that space. I'm going to ask Josh if he can flip the pod with the articles just so the podcast.
Yeah, make the pod, because that seems to be our bread and butter. Like,
it makes the big fun. Bucks.
Yeah, the big bucks. Yeah, I mean, it's the most fun we're having with it, and making a video. And even like myself, I downloaded something on my computer so that I'm actually able to capture gameplay off my Xbox for this NHL series. Because I was going to try to have the Leafs. I know we've talked about them and their playoff disaster, but I was going to try to make the similar roster and what would I do in the off season. But even if I could say, okay, let's make that Seattle expansion and do that, I can now capture it without a capture card because I'm not pro gamer, man. So I have that ability now.
Now, if you want to hear my take on the Toronto and Montreal series, you go check out healthyscratch.ca. You can go on our YouTube page as well to see what I think about that. And it's surprisingly not mean. Okay. I mean, to certain Leafs fans, sure. But to most, I felt
to
bad.
To a smart hockey, like,
yeah, as
a hockey person, I was telling you before, I started listening to that one and it makes sense. Like, you're not ripping them. You're ripping the idiots
right. Like, there's some really insufferable hockey fans, and every team has those fans. Detroit has them big time, where I'm like, are you guys stupid? But those were the ones with the obnoxious Leafs fans where I'm like, this was the best. But so if you want to really hear about that, I know in yours, you talked about a little bit, like, was it draft lottery? And
yeah, and it was the
playoffs.
YouTube video. Yeah, more draft lottery.
Yeah.
Say the only flip there was obviously Seattle and Anaheim, but sort of just, okay, Leafs, like, 'cause I knew you were doing that video. Like, when you sent me the text, hey, emergency pod, I'm over on 7 Lakes on I don't know, hole 6 or whatever. I'm like, God damn it.
What do you think of the draft lottery? We can start with
Uh,
that, I guess.
yeah, I know we weren't gonna start with it, but why it was a half hour of the same shit. I know you thought you're like, okay, Detroit's gonna drop to 8. So when we were in that top that 10, 9, and then 8, I'm like, okay, here we go. And then it wasn't. So I'm like, okay, there we go. But once the top 3 sort of like Anaheim got that 3rd spot when it was down to Seattle and Buffalo, I'm like, oh come on. I was rooting for Seattle, but whatever.
Like, this is the first time since the lottery has been like this that the Wings have been in the lottery that they haven't dropped. Did you know
they haven't
that?
been screwed. Yeah.
So there's no reason for me to be upset about it because they are where they are, and that's how it should be. It should be just by, like, we've talked about that in other pods, and I've gone on a rant about the draft lottery and why it's stupid. But it should be just the inverse order of the standings. I don't care how bad you are. Like, Owen Power might request a trade. Already, he's not even drafted. He's going to Buffalo. Like, he's screwed. But yeah, the only flop was Seattle and Anaheim, which I'm like, okay, like, you're still getting a good player. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But so the draft lottery went fine this year. I was actually the first time where I wasn't bothered by it. I mean, the last few years, especially last year, being the worst team in the league by far, like, even and maybe over an 82 game season, Buffalo this year would have been as bad as Detroit was last year. But you deserve the number 1 pick at that point if you're that bad. So that's why I was kind of upset. I'm like, come on, man. Like, the teams that are way behind or way ahead of them get the first pick. But the lottery went fine. Okay. What didn't go fine was there's a few more suspensions. Well, I mean, some plays that were kind of suspect. The first one we'll talk about is Ryan Reaves, who's like the tough guy on the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
Just like pile driving Ryan Graves into the ice, like ripping out a chunk of his hair. Like, it was aggressive.
The guy didn't ask for a haircut. Like, why are you ripping his hair out?
So the whole thing here, so you got 2 games, and they said, so it was basically he ragdolled Ryan Graves, pulled a chunk of his hair out on the way down. So and another thing that it says here is that Graves was assessed a penalty for injuring Matthias Janmark. I didn't know that.
Huh.
So was that retribution? It's Ryan Reaves. It probably was.
Yeah, he's known as an enforcer and a tough guy, and he'll be. I think this one it's non-debatable that's a dirty play. He's has sort of that reputation, right, of the tough guy, and with that you're gonna a little bit of a dirty play. So 2 games, it's instead of to sort of paraphrase the ice team ice, 2 games well worth it. Not really, since they lost, but they won last night, so they're down 2-1 in the series. And I don't know. I think you're gonna see guys like Reaves. They're trying to sort of phase out of the game. You saw with John Scott years ago. So
are the Golden Knights really gonna miss Ryan Reaves?
No.
I mean, maybe it's great. Now, will the Winnipeg Jets miss Mark Scheifele?
Yes.
Yes.
They're gonna. That's what? You want to lead with this? Like,
yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, so Mark Scheifele got 4 games because he absolutely killed it. Was it Jake Evans?
Jake Evans, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely crushed the kid. I mean, huge hit. Evans is hurt, stretchered off. He scored, though. He got the empty netter. So the way that this happened is puck was flipped down. Yeah, puck was flipped down, and Evans was flying for it. Got the puck, was going for a wraparound to stuff it in and basically end the game for the Habs. This was game 1. Mark Scheifele, from the other end of the ice, was obviously back checking. And as Evans came around the net, he absolutely, I mean, Evans' soul left his body. That's how hard he got hit. You think John Tavares got hit hard? Evans, like, he was out cold before he hit the ice. That's how hard Mark Scheifele hit him. So I want to hear what you think about, first of all, was this a dirty play?
People might not agree with this at all. I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't necessarily think it's dirty. I'm watching the replay right now, and yeah, icing waved off. Evans is going around the net. You're saying Scheifele's skating hard to come back and trying to prevent it because with a minute left in the game, you're down one. Obviously, you don't want him to get that empty netter. So I have it paused right now where Evans is just got the puck. He's right behind the net. Scheifele is around in between the circles on the hash there. So I'm playing it like frame by frame. So by the time Evans actually gets around and the puck like has this stick to put the puck in the net, Scheifele's right there at the red line. So it's obviously he has all of that momentum coming in with him because he's skating his ass off to back check and try to prevent this. He's trying to hit the guy and bump him off the puck. Does he come in full speed? Yeah, but it's I don't necessarily think it's a dirty play. He's trying to make defensive plays coming in, it's a 1-goal game at the time. And
he's not trying to make a defensive play. This is a dirty hit. He came in and you just said yourself, he is at the red line as this puck is going in. Why are you not playing the puck there? Why are you not going for a poke check? He targeted Evan. It's like targeting in football. He was going to run through this guy no matter what. Okay. So that was literally I looked at it and went, what are you doing? Like, to prevent the goal. Whenever we were coaching, it was stick on puck, body on body. There was no stick on puck. He just went for the hit. He could have stopped that goal if he would have just went and did a poke check.
Well, he wasn't the only guy on back there coming back because he also had Neil Poinek or whatever it is, Pionik. I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah. He was back there too, and he was going more towards the puck.
I don't even remember anyone being near. Scheifele was the only one that could have made the play on that puck. He was the only one.
On Evans, he was obviously closer to Evans, but if you go back and watch the replay, you'll see Scheifele. Like, I have it paused here on. I'm going to
what I'll argue is has nothing to do with Neil Pionk. Scheifele could have made the play. I'm taking that guy out of the equation. Bless you. Nice.
Muted my mic, so you didn't have
that
to
was
hear that.
Awesome. That was so professional of you. I like that.
I try, except you're going to have a weird YouTube video of me just going.
That's fine. We'll screenshot it. It'll be great. But he didn't play the puck. Now, furthermore, that is a textbook charge. Textbook. He skated from the other red line all the way to his end, picking up speed. Bang. It's a charge. Right? You can't do that.
It's I see that, but I don't necessarily like. I don't think it's a. Does it deserve a 4-game suspension? I don't think that's as bad as the Ryan Reaves. Obviously, like the outcome is horrible, and like obviously Evans, like said, when he got hit, you're pretty sure you saw his soul, like said, up in the rafters at MTS. Yeah. But
all Habs go to heaven.
But it's I don't see it as a 4-game suspension. Like, I know we sort of talked about it beforehand. Like, it's hard to compare necessarily. Like, okay, is it as like if Reaves got 2 games, how does Scheifele get 4? But Tom Wilson got a fine.
This all makes sense. I'm telling you right now, this all makes sense.
The NHL is obviously trying to. They saw that they fucked up on the Wilson thing.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Dude, we were talking about that. You can't just jump into a pile. That's a different thing. Now, when you say you can't compare these, I think you can compare them.
Yeah, like, you're not getting a true apples to apples.
You can get it pretty damn close. If you're talking about different fruits, they're all sweet. Okay? So, Tom Wilson, like, there was a scrum, okay? What also was a scrum is Ryan Reaves, okay? Panarin and Buchnevich jumped into that pile and grabbed Tom Wilson. You're going to get killed, okay? Ryan Graves did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. That's why that is egregious. Plus, you can't pull a guy's hair, okay? That was literally, he went and did that. He knew that was happening, okay? Tom Wilson reacted to, there's a monkey on my back. I'm going to smash him into the ice like the Hulk with Loki. Bang, bang, bang. Puny God. Okay. And then if you look at this Scheifele thing, out of all three of those instances, which one is the one where the guy got the most injured? Jake Evans got stretchered off. He got smoked. And that's why it's 4 games, because that's more intent to injure. He didn't play the puck. He charged at him. And here's the thing, and I'll make a little bit of an argument for you. If you take away, like if you just watch that clip from where he was from like the top of the circle down, clean hit. Like shoulder, chest, boom, right? Didn't leave his feet. But so you can't charge. You can't go that amount of distance and smash the guy.
Okay, so you're saying if said from the circle down, clean hit. Mm-hmm. If he would have made some attempt at the puck first and then just said, no, what, maybe by knocking him, I can get him off that puck. It's a clean hit.
Yeah, I think. Because the thing is, the whole point of a body check is to separate the man from the puck. That's the whole point, okay? Yeah. And if you can hit him hard, then hit him hard. But the whole point is that black thing on the ice that's going into your net that is basically icing the game for Montreal, you want to prevent that. He had no intention of preventing that. He could have. That's why, first of all, it's play the puck, it's a charge, and it's intent to injure. That's why it's a dirty play.
See, I just keep going back, like, cause I have it on my other screen here, and I'm watching it.
And you're watching it in slow motion.
No, I'm not. I'm watching it. I'm just going back and watching it in real time.
Okay.
And he looks like he puts his stick out to try to poke Scheifele, but then he also has, like I said, he also has another guy there as well.
You see where the guy's eyes are? He's looking through him. He wants to put him through the boards. He's like, I'm gonna hit you into Saskatoon. Like he's gonna end up in the Saskatoon Blades Arena. That's how hard he wants to hit this guy. I think that was a moment of total, like, because I don't think Mark Scheifele's a dirty player. I really don't.
I don't think so either.
But that was a dirty play. And it was something where I think that was emotionally charged. We can talk to Lou about that. We've all freaked out in certain instances. Okay. It's emotion. Shit gets the better of you.
And that's where maybe I'm thinking that it's not necessarily a dirty hit, because Scheifele doesn't have that reputation of being
just because
a dirty person.
Just
so
because
that's
you have
where
a dirty,
I think I'm coming. That's where I think I'm thinking it's not necessarily dirty. Like I said, is it an emotional run? Probably.
I think what you're saying, you can still be a clean player and have a dirty play. It's gonna happen. I don't blame him for. I'm not going to call him a dirty player. It's a dirty play. And it's something where probably if you go back and you're not in that mindset, he doesn't do that and he goes for the puck, or it is what it is, right? But I mean, hey, see, I like the argument. And also, hey, I'll make another argument for you here that you didn't make. What the hell is Jake Evans doing? Did he think nothing was going to happen?
Yeah, like you see,
he had his head down, coming around the net, and he knows people are coming for him. Dude, like, take a peek. That was the only thing that I thought on the opposite side. If I'm coming over here,
like, I didn't on your think
side.
That
I'm on your side now. See, what is Jake Evans doing? Right, keep your head up.
Keep your head up.
He's trying to score, though. I get it. So maybe he knew, I'm gonna get crushed here. I'm gonna get the goal. We're gonna win the game.
One thing he didn't know is where his body, like I said, his body's on the ice, his soul is out in Saskatoon.
Oh, that was a yard sale. So yeah, so that's the thing where, I mean, I think for sure the way that these suspensions have been handed out makes sense on the outcome more than the act. Evans got hurt. You know,
And you
it
look at
looked like
game 2
intent.
though. Montreal, know what? That's where their big thing was. Coming back game 2, get a win.
Yeah,
Take 2 in Winnipeg.
I mean, that's pretty incredible because I picked the Jets to win. So, I mean, in all those series, I mean, really quickly. I don't know if you want to there's only 4 series, so
yeah, why
we
not?
don't really do predictions, and it's like 2 games in. But I picked the Jets to beat the Habs. And I mean,
I said the same thing in my YouTube video that
I think in the solo pod I went through the whole thing, and I think I had the Jets beating the Habs because I had Edmonton and Toronto losing. We'll talk about them in a second. But and then what's the other series here? Colorado.
Okay, I'll go through. Yeah, I'll go through these quickly here with you.
Okay.
So you have Winnipeg beating Montreal.
Yeah. Even though they're down 2-0.
I said the same thing. Yeah, okay. I said the same thing. Colorado, Vegas. I have Colorado.
Me as well because I hate Vegas.
Tampa, Carolina, Tampa
Bay,
and then Boston Islanders. I said the Islanders.
I also did. Okay. Wow. Okay, we're on the same page, but like
I'm a low key. I like Islanders. I said in my YouTube. They're my
something about
like 2 or they're my number 2 or 3 team. I don't know why. Like them and Detroit are like flipping for my 2 just because Detroit's right across and they're an Eastern Conference team now. So, but the Islanders, I don't know what it is. It's just the fishermen probably the fishermen.
Yeah. So Toronto, Edmonton. We already mentioned the Leafs and they collapsed. They choked. You want to go and hear about it? Go listen to my YouTube. Not even a rant, just kind of breakdown. Edmonton, you wanted to talk about because they also suck. And
yeah, I know we said it obviously before the game there where they got the boot there. Like we talked about, we said, okay, Edmonton's horrible. They're going to lose, blah, blah, blah. And this is the first time since I think that pod that we've actually got together, like sitting down, talking. I know we did Leafs separately, but like, what do you do? I know you broke down the Leafs one already, and I sort of said the same thing. You try to run it back without Joe Thornton.
Yeah.
But just Edmonton, you have the best player in the game. Well, top 2 player in the game.
He's the best.
And you have another top 5, top 10 in Draisaitl. And like, what do you do? The goaltending is never there. Like,
I'll tell you what you do.
I'll
tell you what you do. Get rid of Ken Holland.
They won't. He wants to bring back Mike Smith.
He wants to bring back Mike Smith, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Adam Larson. They're going to re-sign all those guys. And we talked about that too, where I said, he signed Zach Kassian for F's sake. Like, yeah. I mean, Ken Holland has shown in the last decade that he has no clue how to surround his core players with talent. Okay.
In the salary cap era.
I think you're seeing it with Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. And it's something where I look at it like this. You have your 2 studs, and they're the 2 best in the league. Okay, let's just say 2 best, just for fun, because that's an argument for a different time. You have no one around them. You have no one on the wings for them. You got like Tyler Ennis. You got there's really nobody. Zach Kassian, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins isn't really what he was or is. Yeah, Kyler Yamamoto, Josh Archibald, and all these guys where I'm like, what do they expect these guys to do? They're not top 6 guys. So if you break down their team, and I think Nuge is actually a centerman, is he not?
I think so.
You could maybe move him up.
I think he does play the wing every now and then.
He's the only one that I'd say is a second line guy. You have 2 top guys and nothing else. Their defense is porous. I mean, Darnell Nurse played almost an hour one game. Did you see that?
Yeah, and then he went and watched his his wife give birth after.
Yeah, insane. I mean, good for him. I mean, but the thing is Darnell Nurse the guy you need playing an hour? He's not. He reminds me of almost like Cronwall.
Nuge is a center.
Yeah, so there you go. But and then their goaltending is poop. I mean, Mike Smith is 39. Is he going to get here for a while? No. I mean, if they bring him back for a year, then I mean, fine. Koskinen's contract stinks.
Gone.
So I don't see how Ken Holland is going to do anything because he tried already. He got Kyle Turris. He stinks. He's moved some guys. He traded for Athanasiou. He traded for Green. Useless. You know what I mean? Like, so he has no clue how to move people around and sign guys for the appropriate term and the right amount of money. He's shown that he overpays people way too much. And if you're the Oilers, you cannot afford to do that because a quarter of your salary cap is in two guys.
Yeah, it's in your top two. It's in your top two guys. And just for shits and giggles, the Oilers lines here, I have it pulled up. Your top line is Draisaitl, McDavid, Puljujarvi.
Okay.
They have Nuge on the second line on the wing, even though he's a center, with Ryan McLeod and Zach Kassian. Like, Zach Kassian is not a top six player. Your third is Devin Shore, Drew Kyra, and Alex Chiasson. Then Tyler Ennis, Gaten Haas, and Kyler Yamamoto. Like,
okay, the only thing is like, okay, if Puljujarvi turns into something decent, he's a 20-goal guy. That's great, but you need like two more of those guys.
Yeah, because you need because Kassian, like I said, is not a top six. He's a third, fourth line guy. You need it. I don't get it.
Yeah. Like they're gonna, and this is just my bold prediction. I mean, we have probably already talked about this. Connor McDavid will not win a cup in Edmonton as long as Ken Holland is there.
Yeah,
and I think that is a fact, and I would put money on it.
No, I that's something I think I said that in a couple episodes ago or whenever we talked about it. And do you think if Edmonton doesn't make a deep run in the next 2-3 years, McDavid pulls an Eichel and wants out?
Yes. Yeah, I think he does. Why not? You want to win. If he doesn't, I have less respect for him.
Do you think do you think both him and Draisaitl do it?
Yeah.
I think Draisaitl would go first.
Losing does something to a person. Like, it's not fun. It really isn't. And that's why hearing like the Wings when they were really bad, like I remember when Bobby Ryan signed, he was talking with Larkin, like he wanted to know, has it got to like is it the culture now? Is it just a losing?
Is it a losing culture?
No, we hate it. Like, we want to be good, right? So I get why Eichel wants to leave. He's got no help. Like, you can't do it all yourself. This is not the NBA where you can have two good players. For who?
Well, not necessarily the year to win, but or win the cup or whatever. But
for Edmonton?
No, like, so going with Buffalo. Well, Edmonton, yeah, they should be winning. But Buffalo, like Eichel, like they had Hall, they had.
It's Eric Stahl stinks. Okay, Buffalo, they don't know what they're doing. Like, they're at the same point. We can always look at them.
They're the same thing like Edmonton.
They have no clue what they're doing. They're literally wasting a superstar, just like Edmonton is wasting two. And when they thought and people thought Edmonton, this was their year. How? I remember looking at that team going, how do you think this is it? You got nothing. You can't just go and go, hey, McDavid and Draisaitl just carry us to the cup. It's not how it works.
You look at Edmonton, then you look like at a team like Colorado. Colorado has the depth. They've went out. They made like goaltending. They had Gruber, but they went in and then they got Devin Dubnyk as a backup, but like a veteran guy there. And it's to me, Edmonton, if you want to like compare it to the NFL, like they're like Baltimore.
I would say they're worse than Baltimore. I mean, what's a team that has a stud QB and nothing else? Detroit? That's basically what it was.
Jared Goff?
And there's the thing. No, like with Stafford, I mean.
Oh, Stafford.
When they had Stafford, right? Stafford was a good quarterback with nothing else. I mean, you might see it this year where he goes to LA and just maybe he's really, really good.
It changes the scenery. Yeah.
But maybe that's just who he is. But the thing is, Stafford, I have more respect for him now that he said, I want out. You know what that says to me? I want to win, man. Like, it's not going to happen here. So move me, right?
Yeah. And he's given the team opportunities. Like, he's signed there and took cut. And
think about if you're Connor McDavid, right? Like, you're Connor McDavid right now.
Okay.
And then you're already asking me about years down the line, 2-3 years down the line. Wouldn't you, if it was happening every year, if this was the next few years,
first round exit,
second round, second round, or they're just not getting you the players you need.
Yeah. If I'm not getting.
Yeah. I mean, if you're the best player in the league, what do you want your legacy to be? We were just talking about not having a cup.
Yeah.
And what that does to you, like, yeah, you were an awesome player, but you never won. He wants to win a damn cup, and if that's in Edmonton, fine. I just don't think it'll happen.
It's not going to
If
happen
it's somewhere
in
else,
Edmonton.
fine. But that's what I would look at. And when you asked me, I guess looping back, would he want out? Yeah. He might not say that. I guarantee you that's how they would feel.
But you got to think about that. Like, if you're not winning and your team's like the big thing that you just said, if the management is not bringing in the right players to surround you with success, why are you there? And you're a prime player.
Jack Eichel.
That's what's happening there.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is.
I know another player, like we said, like wanting to win, Seth Jones.
Well, okay, we'll talk about Seth Jones, but what I want to bring up, because it has something to do with McDavid, is this Pierre Maguire thing. If you didn't hear, you're muted. Oh, there you go.
Oh, I'm not.
Now you're good. Now you're good. It was
And
for a second.
I didn't hear this, and this is something I know.
Okay, so I'll paraphrase it, because I mean I could pull it up, but he basically said it's time for the Oilers to have the Scotty Bowman, Steve Yzerman talk with Connor McDavid. Do you know what that means? It means
I'm giving you a weird look. So
when Bowman came into Detroit, there's this whole thing about how like he transformed Steve Yzerman into a two-way defensive forward, because Yzerman's stats when Scotty Bowman came in until the end of his career were nothing like they were before. He never had as many points, never had as many goals. Steve Yzerman has did you know this? He has the third highest points per year behind Gretzky and Lemieux. 155. I think it was 1987, something like that. But he could score goals like crazy. He could get points, whatever, but they weren't winning. So there's this whole legend about how Scotty Bowman came in and whipped him into shape and said, you need to be more defensive, and I want you to focus on winning faceoffs, and you're going to kill penalties, and I don't need you to score 50 goals. I want you to score 30, but I want you to be, defensive, not a defensive liability. Not like he ever was, but
yeah.
Now, when Pierre Maguire says this about Connor McDavid, do you agree with that? That he has to, Connor McDavid has to be more defensive. He has to be a little bit more liable defensively, win faceoffs, shot blocking, PK, like stuff like that. Do you think that would help them?
I don't think you want to have your franchise player go out there blocking shots.
It worked for Detroit.
Yeah, but that was also X years ago, 30 years ago.
Doesn't matter. You win.
I think you know what? There's some things do you want to play a little more defensive? Yeah. But I don't think you want to have him necessarily out there on a PK.
Why not?
Do you want to
more ice time? Why not?
You're going to gas him out.
He's the best player in the league.
You're going to overwork him.
You know what happens?
If it's Edmonton in their current role, they're going to overwork him. He's going to be gassed out, and they're going to have to going back to playoffs. They're not going to have that success.
How about this?
Not going to have success.
You get a few penalties in a row. He's not out on the ice. He needs to be out on the ice. Why not put him on a PK, dude? He's the fastest player in the league.
Then you look at it. I don't think you have him as your number one PK guy. I don't think.
No, put him on a PK. There's technically what I think in the answer. There's like three kind of PK lines. There's like 2, 2, and 2. You have your top two. You have your other one if the other two are gassed. But and
as a third option, yeah, then go ahead. But I don't think. And if you only put him out there for a PK, like I said, if you have PK like penalty, like 3 penalties in a row there.
So do you agree, like, with what Pierre Maguire is saying, that he needs to be more defensive and he needs to do this because that's going to help them? And do you agree with the comparison to Scotty Bowman, Steve Yzerman? Like the talk, we need to change things.
Defensive wise, yeah, know what? Yeah, play a little more defensive. We know he has all the offensive talent in the world.
Sure.
That's going to be, when it comes down to it, that's going to be what he's going to be. He's not a two-way forward. He's going to be playmaker, sniper.
But they want him to. That's what Pierre Maguire is saying, is that they should make him a two-way guy, because he's still going to get points. He's still going to score, but they want him to be a plus on the defensive side of the puck too. Not to say that he isn't right now, but if you're Edmonton and you're willing to have that decrease, like I said, that how Yzerman, how
Bowman said we don't need it to be a 50 goal. We need it to be a 30. If Edmonton fans are willing, or an Edmonton management is willing to have that decrease, then go ahead. But I don't think you have enough talent to make up for it with anyone else.
Bingo. That's the reason why Pierre McGuire is an idiot. Okay. So you literally just said what I was going to say, and I'll explain why you're absolutely right. Okay. Because I was waiting for you to stumble on that. You did. Okay. You can't compare Connor McDavid to Steve Yzerman. Okay. At the time, yes. Was Yzerman top 5 in the league? Yeah. They had Gretzky, Lemieux. There's a few guys, right? So if you look and compare when Scotty Bowman came into Detroit, they already had talent around him. They had Sergei Fedorov. Eventually they got Shanahan. They had Lidstrom. They brought in Larry Murphy. They had all the Russian Five, and they brought in guys. At the time he was a rook, but because Bowman came in 93. Okay. 93, they lost in the first round of Toronto. 94. I can't remember. 94 was the San Jose thing where Osgood screwed up. 95, they lost in the finals and got swept. 96, they had the best regular season of all time, 62 wins. And I don't count Tampa's because they had overtime wins. And then they won the cup twice. It took them like 5 years. Okay. And also, they already had the core. It's really easy to ask your superstar to do other things when other people are fucking scoring. Okay.
Cicerelli and.
Yeah, Dino, freaking, they had like Keith Primo at one point. They had Paul Coffey.
Yeah, I got the 94-95 roster up just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. Connor McDavid doesn't have a Sergei Fedorov. Well, he does. He has Draisaitl. He doesn't have a Nick Lidstrom. He doesn't have a Paul Coffey. He doesn't have Larry Murphy. He doesn't have Chris Chelios. He doesn't have any of these guys. Okay, he doesn't have the Russian Five. Yeah, Ray Shepard. Ray Shepard got traded for Lariano. So there you go. So you can't compare these two, and it's not going to help them because we already proved that point earlier when we said he needs more people around him first. Because then you can focus on that. No one else is scoring. What are you going to do? You're not going to win 1-0. You don't have the talent for that. You don't have the goaltending for that. You don't have the defense for that.
No,
it's not going to happen.
Don't.
So that's why I thought Pierre was kind of out to lunch on that one. And again,
I get what he's trying to say. Like, got to be more defensive, but if you don't have the talent around you to make up for, if you're going to be dropping on your offensive production, you don't have the talent there, like you said, and that's and now it's just a I don't know what's going on there.
It's going to just be a shit show for a while. Now I want to tell you my weird stats because I think you're really going to like these, and you might have heard a few of them. But okay, first one, actually, I'll give Lou credit. I got it from him. Okay. There was what game was it that Kotkaniemi scored in overtime? Game 5?
6.
It was game 5, I think, wasn't it?
Game 6.
Suzuki scored one overtime too. It was game 6. Okay. He goes, Kotkaniemi scored at 15 minutes and 15 seconds of OT. He had exactly 15 minutes of ice time, and he's number 15.
I saw that stat. I forget where cool. I saw that. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Second one. And this is something that is incredible to me. And it kind of speaks to how maybe you should be building a team going forward. 14 out of the top 15 individual player salary cap hits are not in the playoffs. 14 out of the top 15. Guess which one is the one that's in there? And he's like 14 or something?
Trying to think who's in right now.
He's a goalie.
Fleury?
No, it's Price.
Oh yeah, Price is
Price makes like 10. That's it. And I was going to argue that you don't really have to have a really top paid goalie to win anymore, because I think at this time you can pay 3-4 mil for a goalie and be okay, except for those upper ones like Vasilevsky. I'd say is worth that. Price is worth that. Maybe like Connor Hellebuck. I don't know. Like there's a few guys, but so that's pretty interesting, right?
Would you 14 out of 15. Like Jack Campbell?
Yeah, why not? He's going to make like 2 mil next year.
He's not,
and he's doing fine.
He played well. He just had,
especially with a team like Toronto that has talent, you can kind of do the Chris Osgood routine. Just be good. Just be solid. You don't need to be anything spectacular. Okay. Third one. Listen to this, and you might have heard this one. This is from Spit and Chicklets, okay? And I'm gonna so this was before. This is before Montreal won, and they actually fulfilled the prophecy. Okay.
Okay.
So this is comparing the Toronto-Montreal series to the 2004 Montreal versus Boston round 1 series. Okay, so both first round. Okay. In 2004, Boston was up 3-1. 2021, Toronto was up 3-1. Okay. Original 6 matchup, both of them. 2004, Boston's the top seed in the division. 2021, Toronto top team in the division. 2004, last year of NHL on ESPN was 2004. NHL on ESPN returns in 2021. 2000, this gets crazy. 2004, Joe Thornton plays for Boston. 2021, Joe Thornton plays for Toronto. 2004, Montreal goalie is the most recent goalie to win the Hart Trophy. You know who that was?
2004, that's Jose Theodore.
Yep. Guess what? Same thing, 2021. 2004, Montreal goalie has faced 125 shots specifically going into Game 5. I'll let you guess how many Carey Price had on him going into Game 5. 125.
125.
2004, Michael Nylander has 5 points going into Game 5. 2021, his son, William Nylander, same thing. Michael Nylander has 3 even strength goals going into Game 5. Same as William.
Same thing.
Michael Nylander has a 37% shooting percent going into Game 5.
Fuck off. No
William
way.
Nylander, 36%. Same thing.
Christ.
Boston goalie, Andrew Raycroft, fewer than 100 games played. Same with Jack Campbell. Raycroft was 7-3-2 in his last 12 regular season games. Jack Campbell, 7-3-2. Last 12. There's a few more. Boston coach is the youngest in the playoffs. I forget who it was at the time.
For Boston? I'm going to look it up just for shits and giggles.
Because Sheldon Keefe is the youngest coach in the playoffs. He's like 40. Okay. Montreal's coach is 8 years older than Boston's coach. Montreal's coach is also 8 years older.
Mike Sullivan.
Sheldon Keefe. Really? Okay. And then the last one, Montreal comes back to win the series 4-3. It happened.
It isn't the last
Is that
Toronto...
bananas?
That is ridiculous. Like a lot
are
of
you
like
are you serious? How does all of that happen? Now I know you can go like fishing for stats and find weird correlation,
but
that's like 12 of them.
Isn't weird, the last time Toronto won a series was 2004, right? And that's when they beat Ottawa.
Is when they went to the conference
Jason
finals.
Spezza.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I was gonna say the one franchise that has the same amount of first round wins since 2004 is the Atlanta Thrashers.
Hey-o.
So, I mean, that's kind of embarrassing. Okay. I just thought that was kind of a fun thing
that is really like so some of them like the 15 I knew that.
Yeah.
But that last one though it's
bananas, dude. Like
that
was something that can't be real. Like, did they make that up? But I mean, I'm not going to like fact check that. Are you kidding me? It's more fun to not. So
and I've seen RA from Spit and Chicklets, like in their, when they're showing some of their, like, just the guy looks like an absolute, just hammered doing his warthog and all that.
Oh, I know.
Oh, God.
So, okay. Seth Jones.
Yeah. Let's go back to Seth Jones. The guy winning and guys wanting out.
Well,
Seth
Columbus,
Jones.
man. Columbus has lost some guys. Bobrovsky, Panarin, and now Seth Jones wants out. And he's got another year. Like, this is his last year of the contract. And he's making $5.4 million. And he's, like I said, it was like a 6-year deal. So he's in like the last year coming up. He has a modified no trade clause. Now, I'm not 100% sure what his modified thing is. Oh, here it is. Okay. 10 teams he can't get traded to. Okay. So he can get traded the other 22. So, now I want to break down why Seth Jones is leaving. My guess is that it's John Davidson going back. It's the only thing that changed. Torts is gone. John Davidson's back. Maybe when Davidson was there the first few years of his contract, he didn't want, I don't know. Maybe there was something going on there. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
You're not
Where do you
an
see a
official
guy
source.
like no? Where do you see a guy like Seth Jones wanting to go? Like,
There's tons of places where, like, if I'm a defenseman who's in his prime, where I want to go and win. Like, I want to go to tons of places. I want to go to Tampa. Like, obviously, cap is going to be one thing. So where I want to go and where I'm able to fit are two totally different things.
he doesn't really have a lot of say in where he's going to go because I guess
No,
you're only
it's like
saying 10 that I
10.
can't go to. So if you're Columbus,
If I'm
what do you do
Seth
here?
Jones, what are the teams I don't want to go to? Is the first thing I look at. And I don't want to go to Detroit. I don't want to go to.
Why?
I still think you're a couple of years away from doing so. I should say the very
So,
first team, Buffalo. I
is
don't want to
he-
go to
yeah.
Buffalo.
Okay, is he going to do something where it's like he's going to go because he's going to be UFA after the season? So now I'm looking at it as a Detroit fan, like I would love to have Seth Jones, but at the same time, I'm not giving up assets to get him when he might just leave at the end of the year. Like it's something where I would want to make sure he's signed.
That's where I'm looking. I'm looking at this as a 1-year deal.
He'd have to go somewhere that's going to be a winner because here's the thing is he has a no trade clause, but also what's going to happen is there's going to be teams that will go, nah, like we're not. So there's certain teams that are ready to poised to win now that would be okay with almost kind of like this would be a year rental.
That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
If I see a team that's going to go for Seth Jones, we're talking about Edmonton. I could see Ken Holland trying to do something to make it there. Would he help them? Absolutely. But
he would, but I don't think they don't have the assets to move though. Like, do they? I don't know. Maybe. Like I want to look up and see. Why can't I see the top cap? I want to see the top cap hits of each team here, because then you can kind of see.
That'll be something. Yeah, if we have that.
Okay, here we go. Cap space. 20.
How are you doing it for everybody?
Okay.
Like there's some teams like if he were to fit, if Colorado had the space, and him in Colorado would be stupid. Like they'd be.
Oh well, they don't even need him. Their defense is already good.
But if they had him,
it's going to be a team that has $5 million in cap space and that is competing now, or that can move guys. Like you said, if Tampa wants to move a guy out, then go ahead. But I think if you're Columbus, what are you doing here? This is a situation, man. Like, what do you do? He's like, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I'm not going to be re-signing. You try to get an asset for him.
When do you trade him?
Let's look at how was he this year? What are his stats?
Oh, I don't even care about stats. I'm looking at Columbus. What are you doing?
Do you look at not trade deadline? At the draft, you maybe flip him there.
100%. You have to. You can't.
Because you're not going to keep him. You can't keep him and wait till trade deadline and hope for. Because
what if he gets hurt?
His value.
And you have to trade him at the draft.
And that's more of his that's like it's less value to a team that's. You got to trade him at the draft and
100%. They're going to get something for him. I don't know. Are you going to get a first round pick? I don't know. It's a rental. Maybe you get one. Maybe you get one first rounder, or you get a couple seconds or a second and a prospect. I don't know if you're going to get a haul for him because the problem is he doesn't have term on his contract. That's why a lot of people look at that Mantha trade and they're like, he's got 3 more years. He's signed. It's not like they're just getting him for a year and that's it. This is a risk for the team that's trading for Seth Jones. Seth Jones doesn't really have a say in where he's going. So if you're a team like someone that has some cap space that could win now, but could also technically re-sign him and go, hey, Seth, listen, man, like you did really well on our team. We want you. Like that, he would consider staying, right?
I'm trying to see trying to pull up teams that have some cap space here and whatnot.
Because I think Seth Jones probably will test free agency at the end of it, unless he gets in a really good situation where it's like, oh yeah, I'll stay. I'll make $8 million for the next 7 years. And that's it.
Rangers got $1 million, but Brendan Smith is a UFA
he's not
after this year.
Like that's the thing is he's not going to want to go there. He's going, well, maybe. I mean, they're at a point in the rebuild where they want to get aggressive, so they might. Maybe Chris Drury goes crazy and goes, "Hey, Seth, come." Like New York's that team that like they could get anybody, right? Remember they were like back in the day, they like signed Eric Lindros. They got Pavel Bure.
Yeah.
They got freaking
Yager and
Peter Nedved and Yager and Straka, and then they got Bobby Holik and then Scott Gomez. They're getting everybody. It's
stupid.
Like, guys,
It's because you're
crap.
playing in New York, right? That's
Oh
the
my
city
God.
draw there.
Right. So I think he's probably gone at the draft. So we like talking about our contracts and stuff. Want to talk about a team that I hate?
Yeah,
Knights?
let's why not? Let's have some fun and not make fun of them.
Yeah. Oh, did I not pull it up here? There it is.
There you go.
Okay, so the Vegas Golden Knights, we'll break down their stuff. So they're in the playoffs right now, and the reason we did this is because they're probably going to be in a pickle soon. Now, like obviously, their lineup is pretty good. They're in the playoffs. They're down 2-1 to Colorado. Max Pacioretty having a great season. Mark Stone as well. I mean, Chandler Stevenson down the middle. That's weird, but like William Karlsson, Riley Smith, Jonathan Marchessault. So that line's been together since they've started as a franchise, right? Tuck I like him. He's a big guy. Nick Roy, these guys. So Roy, Sakura, Patrick Brown is actually Doug Brown's kid. And then Kolasar, they're all younger dudes, right?
Yeah.
Carrier's been there for a while. He's a solid fourth liner. So I like that. On defense, like Petrangelo, Martinez, Holden, Theodore, Whitecloud, Haig. Pretty good. You got your young guys on the back end here.
You got your big acquisition there, and
I'm looking at so McNabb is out too. So I mean that's another guy on the back that would be
Krebs is a young guy that's going to be their part of their future. And
so you know what? Where's Nosek? He's not on here because usually he would be there too. Maybe he's not on this either. Did I miss him? No, I didn't. Because Nosek's on their team too, and he's not bad. He's like a good third line, fourth line guy. So looking at that, like they're fine. They got Marc-Andre Fleury and that Leonard got lit up in game one. I don't understand why they've started Robin Leonard in game one. Like, oh, we're gonna rest Fleury. Yeah, it's a horrible idea. Like you guys are stupid. Like put him in. The crazy stuff we want to talk about is a cap.
Yes, because this
is bananas, dude. Like the Vegas Golden Knights. That's why I was kind of going like they were an expansion team like 3 years ago. Was it 3, 4? And made the finals. And I'm like, okay, but their cap, they had nothing. They had nobody really signed. Now it's changed.
They got a couple of years right now.
Yeah. So the big ones, I mean, so Mark Stone's your captain, right? They signed him 9.5 for like forever.
And he'll be what,
29.
35 by the time that contract's done.
Like here's their window is the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe even 3. Pacioretty's making 7 for the next few years at 32. So I don't know if you're going to pay him that much when he's done. William Karlsson signed forever. He's 28, 5.9. And then going down the list from here is where it gets a little iffy. Like Riley Smith, okay, $5 million. Jonathan Marchessault, $5 million. That's fine for a guy like him. Tuck making 4.7. He's 25, so that's fine. Ryan Reaves suspended. Chandler Stevenson. Everybody's under 1.4 at this point. I think the Daily Faceoff forget to put Thomas Nosek in there. He's not hurt. It doesn't say he's scratched either. Even like now looking at their young guys, Peyton Krebs, Cody Glass, Nick Roy, Keegan Kolasar, pretty good start to kind of like keep this thing going. Because it's weird. If you look at their like from Nosek up, there's no one under 25.
No.
It's all kind of like 25 and up. So
25 and up.
More
veterans, like Tuck's your young guy there.
Yeah. So that's an interesting thing because they got these 30-year-olds signed for like 6 years.
They're in a win now. It's like I said, they have that because I'm not even looking at 2020, 2021 anymore because we're done after this season. So it's that 2-year window, that 21, 22, 22, 23.
Cap space, 34,000. Can't even buy a truck for that much, let alone another player.
And there's no UFAs after this season for him.
Yeah, except for Nosek. So like you're gonna have the same team coming back. So Janmark, that's because that's retained salary. So
Alec Martinez too. when we look at the back end. But
What? What do you
like
mean?
after this season,
He's gonna. Yeah, I thought you meant.
Is a
Sorry, I
UFA.
thought you meant retain.
no.
The scariest contract here is Alex Pietrangelo. Holy God! I mean, 8.8. He's 31 for like forever.
So it'll be what, like 37 by the time that's done.
The only thing with these contracts that I sometimes think is they're thinking that the cap's going to slowly creep up, so that this number here is what they're looking at, right? The cap percent 10.8. That's going to slowly go down.
Like they're hoping that maybe that drops like a 7 or whatnot.
Yeah, like McKinnon makes $6 million at the time that he signed it. It might have looked pretty good. Now it's like, oh my God, what a bargain! He should get double that. So Alec Martinez might bite the dust here. I don't think he's going to come back.
I don't think he's coming back.
Because you're going to have Pietrangelo, Theodore, McNabb, Holden, and then you got your young guys, Haig, Whitecloud, and this Coughlin guy. So the other contract that's scary is Robin Leonard.
There's Robin Leonard's, yeah.
But to be fair, Marc-Andre Fleury's 36 years old. He's going to be 37 next year. He's still under contract for $7 million, and then he's UFA. So you have that option of just kind of letting him go and then keeping Robin Leonard if he still is at that level. Because $5 million is not bad for a goalie. So you kind of have that next guy in line.
He's obviously their guy moving forward. Like they're sort of in that 1A, 1B role right now.
Right. Unless Fleury wants to take a huge, pay cut to stay, which maybe he will. I think he would, man. I think he like it in Vegas. But, and then Tatar, I mean, dead cap, that's $500,000. That'll be gone. And I don't really know a ton of actually, I really don't know anybody on this list, to be really honest with you. Is this Curtis Lecision's kid? Jake Lecision? Reed Duke was the first guy that ever signed with Vegas. Did you know that?
Thomas Yurko, you know that name.
Oh my God, there he is. The magician that didn't do anything. Earl Dahlstrom, 29. Yeah, so ex-Spitfire right here. Corcoran.
Yeah, there we go.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend I know any of these guys really. But, yeah, they're going to be in a little bit of a situation going forward. You're locked up with Pietrangelo for a long time. And I mean, and I've talked about this before with you. I think some of these managers, and like Brian Burke had said it, you're signing these contracts knowing that you as a manager probably aren't going to outlive that contract. You're going to be toast way before then. So it's like, okay, I want Alex Pietrangelo. He wants 8 years. Okay, I'm only going to probably last 3 if this doesn't work out. So let's get him in here. And whoever's going to come in next will deal with that, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what Yzerman's dealing with is this cleanup crew shit right now of the last 3 years. And it's like, oh my God, like we still got to clean up the crap. That's probably what happened with the Pietrangelo contract. Try to get a guy in here. Yeah. He's a captain, won a Stanley Cup. Okay, we'll bring him in, right?
Get him in while we have this window. And we said 8 years. Am I going to be here in 3-4 years? Probably not. So let's try to win while I'm here.
And I hope they don't. I really hope they don't. You know it. So
yeah, and I think it's going to be that 2-year mark. After looking at their cap and what their situation is, I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to be pretty for.
It's going to be iffy, man.
For Vegas,
if it doesn't go right, you don't have a lot of wiggle room, right? So it's going to be like I said. You look at a team's window; it's the next few years, and then after that, it's like okay, you're going to have to get creative in how you move some of this money around and these players around, because like we've talked about with Vancouver, you get in a spot where you're kind of handcuffed, and it's like, oh no, I can't. I have no flexibility. That's the nice thing about not going right up to the cap. Sometimes having that, okay, if this doesn't work out, right, you put all your eggs in one basket, you better hope that it works out for you. Because if it doesn't, you're boned.
You're boned.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
Not that. Well, did Canada beat the U.S. today in that World Championship?
Is pretty incredible since they started 0-3 and they looked horrible.
Yeah, they're playing.
They're in the finals because they beat USA. Did you see
did
Troy?
Did they beat USA?
They're in the finals.
I didn't know if they beat USA today.
I think it was just today. They beat them like 3-1 or something. So they're in the final now. Did you see Troy Stetcher's insane move on that? I think it was Mangiapane overtime goal in the quarters.
Not gonna lie, I've watched like none of this.
Puck came out and Stretcher's a right-handed. He's on the left side. It came out to him and he went like kind of like through his legs and up, and then like made another move and then like threw it over and like just tap in overtime goal. I was like, oh, do that in Detroit, man. What are you doing?
Nah,
come on, Troy. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. I haven't watched any of those games. Are you serious?
I've seen some highlights and that's about it for me. We have playoff hockey. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, the Colorado and Vegas series has been dynamite, and I mean to see fans in the stands over there is really cool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine in like Winnipeg and Montreal if they had fans, man? It would be so good. Because I will say, the first 2 games of that series have been pretty boring. Like it doesn't feel like playoff hockey, and I'm not even saying because of the fans, just the way they were playing, but I think the fans make you like it gets you going, man.
Did you watch that games?
Oh my God!
What is that?
Man down.
Game 6 of the Montreal-Toronto series. Like I know they only had 2,500 fans in the Bell Center,
but it was still kind of loud.
But it was loud
because we all know that one obnoxious Habs fan sounds like 3 regular fans.
That's why
science.
That's why you watch with Lou, because that's like 3 of them right there.
Dude, watching Lou watch the Habs it's more fun to watch him watch the game than for me to actually watch the game. It's so entertaining because he's just sitting there, and it's funny because like I'll be looking at him, he'll be like this, I'll just be like muttering under his breath. And he's like, then I'll just be like, oh come on, just like out of nowhere, and he'll just freak out.
So I know so every now and then, like you sent the Snapchat. I mean, I'm just gonna give you like my my fake ass GoPro and just put it there to film him.
Oh my God, it was pretty funny tweeting those out. No one really cared about it, but I got some gems.
I had some good laughs on that. It's
the best one, and he didn't even remember saying this. He goes, "I'm like a woman in menopause. The heat comes from my soul." Oh, what does that mean? He's like, I don't know. It just came out.
He's got some good one-liners.
He started chirping Matt Niskanen. I'm like, he's not even in this game. He's like, if I ever see Matt Niskanen on the street, I'm gonna drop kick him in the back of the head. I'm like, why? Isn't he on the Flyers or something? Like he retired, didn't he?
Yeah.
Leave him alone.
All you know is if Lou sees him in the streets,
it's done. Slash him in the shins, man. Yeah, but it's a trip. It's a trip. So anyway, we'll see it going forward. We might have more live tweet Lou sessions because I mean they're still going, and now they're up 2-0. So here's the thing. Now here's the thing that's interesting. Okay, he was watching that Toronto series. Actually, in Game 7, he's pretty chill.
Yeah, you were saying that
because he kind of kept saying house money. He's like, yeah, we were not supposed to win, but now that they're up 2-0, oh, he's invested, man. Because now that he knows they can beat the Jets. So can you imagine if the Jets came back and won like 4 straight or like 4 or 5? He's going to blow his top, dude. And that is called content creation.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Lou.
So anyway, we'll keep our eyes on the playoffs. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah, but a lot of pod and YouTube stuff coming, right? That's
YouTube stuff's fun. So if there's little things that maybe we have a lot of stuff to talk about on the pod, like today, if we talked about Toronto the whole time, this would be 3 hours long.
And we don't want to do that.
No. So we'll keep doing that because it is pretty interesting and fun to do, because doing this together is obviously the most fun. But if it's just little things, that kind of little thoughts, it's kind of interesting to just sit down. And I mean, I even did it without the background. I was just like, I'm just gonna go. I don't care.
That's the same on my YouTube. Just popped up the cam. Let's go and Bringo Brango.
Yeah. So episode 11 is in the books. Until next time, Buschy and Bobo signing off. Go and see us on healthyscratch.ca, Facebook, Twitter. I might just annihilate our TikTok. We're not really using it.
Yeah, I know my sister's like, I was talking to my sister. She's
no
like,
one cares.
She's like, I followed you on TikTok. I'm like, well,
wait,
only person. So
I'm like, oh yeah, we have TikTok. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm never gonna use it. To be honest with you, I might just get rid of it because it's kind of
gas it. Just do the YouTubes, Twitters, and Facebook, and so a lot of it's gonna be anything we're talking about. It's gonna be a lot of playoff hockey. If something weird comes up or any big news, obviously we'll sit and talk about it. But
yeah. So until next time, signing off. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Take it easy.
Peace.